everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Miss Unfortunate, and today I have quite the treat for you. I am doing a collaboration with the one, the only BB Sims. Now you may have heard of BB Sims because this is another Sims 4 builder. They have their own YouTube channels, and I will be sure to have their information down in the description below. So do be sure to check out their channel because today we are doing a type of collaboration where we are doing a build swap. So what that entails is that I'm going to build BB a build, and basically just the shell, the exterior, the landscape, all the whistles and bells, but I won't touch the interior. And BB will do the same exact thing, and then we ended up swapping each other the builds, and I decorated the interior of her build and she decorated the interior of my build. So what you're currently watching is me putting the build together that BB will ultimately be decorating. And what I decided to come up is with something a little bit more closer to home, something that's a little bit more my roots, and that's more so like medieval. I love building these type of tavern looking builds, and this one I would imagine can be definitely modern day. It doesn't have to actually be in medieval times. It could just be like a style, and I imagine this being a bed and breakfast. And BB actually told me she was looking forward to doing a bed and breakfast. She had been considering doing one to begin with, so this was absolutely perfect for her, and I cannot wait to see what she does with the interior because I absolutely love the way the exterior turned out. We have my famous blue roofing and the gold trim on the roof. We have some stones, some wood. We're using a ton of get together as per usual. I also decided to sink part of the bed and breakfast into the ground to kind of give it more of a character, and we end up doing like a little pathway up to the actual bed and breakfast. I end up using a bunch of debug wood beams, and I used that as the detailing for the roof. I also used it as a handmade fence around the build itself. I did this in a previous build, and I will be sure to link it up above me. The previous build was, I believe, it was a medieval summer home, like a royal summer home, and that was actually another collaboration. I do a lot of collabs on my channel just because it's really fun to just see what other people end up doing and working together and whatnot. But my previous build that I did this with was the 50/50 collab, and that one was with Smitherin, one of my other friends. I ended up doing a royal medieval summer home, and this was the first time I ever used the wooden beams to create a handmade kind of wooden fence around the actual lot itself. We didn't use it too terribly much here. We actually created a handmade fence going around the entrance of the bed and breakfast and around the back of the bed and breakfast where you can sit down and enjoy a meal or what have you. And then of course we just threw some landscaping down and some paints. My favorite part of the build has probably got to be the sunken down garage. A little bit of a cute touch. There's a little bit more space back there to have like an actual bedroom or a spot where you want to do some gardening or whatnot. But I ended up doing a little bit of a trail around the build itself, and I kind of made it disappear around the back. I actually did this build quite a while ago because I wanted to make sure that I had it up on the gallery for BB so she could take her time with doing the interior. So I do apologize if the explanation isn't all that great. Really all you need to know is that it's a lot of get together once again. There's a few other packs in this build, but at the moment they escape me. I know definitely eco lifestyles in this because we had to use the debug beams to create the makeshift fence. And you know guys, let me know down below what you think about the makeshift fence. I'm in love with it. I might use it a lot more often. I know this is only my second time using it. I loved covering it up with vines, making it look natural and whatnot. I also was able to find a sign to put on the exterior of the build itself, and it was really cute because when I took a picture of the build with the sign in the picture, I sent it over to my brother and he was all like, wow, that actually looks like the build in the sign. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. It's got the red roof and it's got the get together wallpaper and everything. So it was kind of cute. It almost looked like they painted their own bed and breakfast on the sign itself. Obviously I told BB she could do whatever she wanted. She could change this into an actual residence. She could change it into a restaurant, whatever lot type, whatever. I just wanted to give her some initial inspiration. But do be sure to go check out her channel so you can see how this has been furnished, and we'll go ahead and head on into the tour. We are diving right on into Beely's build here, and as you can see, she created me a very lovely Sulani build that is named Siren Lookout. I believe she named it Siren Lookout. That may actually be the plot name, but I went with it. It's totally fine. The vibe that Beely created for me on the exterior is almost like a wrecked ship, and then someone came along and decided to create a house out of the ship. You could see all kinds of clutter outside. It looks like maybe even a pirate could live here, or maybe even a group of sirens or mermaids. So I decided to take that inspiration and bring it onto the inside. The inside is a ton more darker than the exterior. I decided to make everything wood, and just very kind of traditional piratey colors. So you'll definitely see a pirate theme going out. I know that Beely does not have vampires. I'm gonna bring this up right now because I was actually shocked that she didn't have vampires, just because I love a ton of building items from vampires. But you gotta understand, sometimes people do not purchase certain packs because they just don't like them. Not necessarily for any other reasons. So I apologize, Beely. I did use some vampires in the actual interior, but it is basically the lights and some decoration items. So if you do not have vampires and you want to download this build, you should be fine. There are a ton of other packs, so I'm not gonna lie. I really kind of just sunk into this build and had a lot of fun with it. I am usually someone who does a limited pack build, or I should say I started doing limited pack builds, but this was not necessarily one of them. So I hope you guys are okay with it. I hope you can still enjoy it. My favorite part is basically the fireplace kind of system that I have going on in the living room. At first I had a flat screen TV in there, and then I was just kind of like, that's too modern. So I swapped it out and just put a decorative piece there. You'll see that in the tour. But I ended up creating that fireplace with some debug rocks from Sulani, and there's two statues that kind of have almost like a cave input into the statue itself. So I decided to make both of those fireplaces. I took the torches or the braziers from Get Famous, and I ended up sinking them down and making them disappear, so it makes it look like it's a natural fireplace. So that's how I created that, and we can definitely look at that in just a moment. But my most favorite part of this entire build is probably going to be the kitchen. The kitchen is so rich and dark, and it's red, and it just really kind of does make me feel like that this might be a kitchen that a pirate might like, or maybe even like a dark siren or something like that. But I did decide to use the old beam and wall trick to make it look like the ceilings actually had beams holding them up like a pirate ship would, and I did try to make really long corridors, kind of like you would see in a pirate ship. So this is very piratey themed, if you will, and it's my first time ever really trying something like that. The biggest thing that I think I did that helped out the whole theme was putting a bunch of like little gold coins everywhere and a bunch of like gems and whatnot. I had a lot of fun with that part because it just, I don't know, it just really brought the build together. The floor plan is kind of strange on this build. You guys will be able to see that soon. I try to make it make sense in the tour, so hopefully you'll be able to see it even better there. But basically there's the middle floor that's actually the entrance floor to the house, and that has the living room, the kitchen, the dining, the basics, a bathroom, and then you can either go up or down. If you go up, then you're going to go into the captain's bedroom, or the master bedroom, however way you want to play the game, or you can go down and you would go into the bar area, and then there's two more bedrooms down here. I imagine that this might be where the mates live, like the other pirate crew, and then of course the pirate queen. I know I did a queen because it looks very girly bedroom. It's not really girly, it's just it looks like a woman might stay there, but hey, a man can too, there's nothing against it at all. We basically just packed the stuff full of treasure and all kinds of stuff. I imagine that this could actually be back in the day, or maybe like a pirate actually lives here, or maybe it could be just a really, really like heavy addicted pirate fan or something like that. They decided to turn their whole house into like a pirate theme, and it is modern day or whatnot have you. I do believe everything in this should work off the grid. Actually, the bathrooms do not. The bathroom is vampires, so that might not work properly, but it's very simple to just swap out for obviously some pieces that do work off the grid. I actually decided down in the basement that I would create these two bedrooms. One of them would be with a queen size bed, the other one would be with two twins, and really wanted it to have all that kind of nook and cranny that a ship might, all the different corridors, all the different rooms. So I ended up actually making a room that you walk into first. That will be the person that sleeps there, their hobby, either painting or reading. And then you would step up into another level and that would actually be the bedroom. So that's what I decided to do downstairs. I thought it looks kind of homey and kind of unique, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. And then of course, like I told you, you can go up to the third floor, which is where the captain's bedroom is. And I try to make it look as captain-y as possible. Obviously, I have limitations with the build because I don't want to destroy anything that Beely did on the exterior. I will admit that I did change a few windows just to make it fit the interior a little bit better. The biggest thing that I changed that I don't like that I had to change was in the kitchen, and I took down all her bay windows and put up 3 simple windows. Hopefully that's okay. She did give me permission to change windows if I needed to, but I did try to not touch as many as possible. So with that being said, I just basically took this captain's quarters and I shoved a ton of treasure in there. We did give them the Get Famous chair and bed, and I think that's about it from Get Famous in there, but I really wanted to make it look lavish and lush, and you know, like, these people are pirates. They're gonna go out, they're gonna get their booty, and they're going to be living in really good situation if they're good pirates, obviously. These are good pirates. There's gold everywhere, there's diamonds and emeralds and statues and all kinds of expensive things in this house. Actually, I think the house ended up being somewhere around 500,000 simoleons, maybe 600. I can't necessarily remember. That's a lot of simoleons for a house this big. Usually you wouldn't see that in like more so like a mansion-sized house. In this collaboration, we're not going to really do a breakdown like I usually do in my videos of like how I built things and whatnot, because it's already going to be a lengthy video. If there's anything you guys really want to see, just comment down below, let me know, and then I can maybe recreate them in my next build and point them out and show you how I built them. Other than that, I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you, Beely, for collaborating with me. She's a wonderful person. Please be sure to check the description down below to see how she built her side of the build and how she decorated the bed and breakfast that you saw me build at the beginning of this video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed yourself. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Mwah.